if you look at the Premier League, if you Google Man United fixtures, you'll look through them and you'll see there's a game classed as postponed against Chelsea. Now, that game against Chelsea is supposed to be played at Old Trafford and we're supposed to have played it in later this month. But it's likely that it's going to be played an entire month later than it was originally planned. The Premier League have said that they're waiting for the outcomes of Chelsea and Man United's European quarter-finals before setting on a new date for their rearranged Prem game. So the match was originally scheduled for the weekend ending April 22nd, but that's had to be postponed. So when we made it to the FA Cup, when United made it to the FA Cup semi-final, where we'll face Brighton on Wembley on the 23rd of April, the Premier League quickly decided, obviously, that the game couldn't go ahead on the 22nd. And another reason for the delay is that we've got the game against Sevilla in the last day of the Europa League. And if we, or Chelsea, progress to a semi-final, there's one midweek option left to rearrange a fixture at Old Trafford, which would be the week beginning May 22nd. And our last game's on the 28th against Fulham, the final week of the Prem season. So we play our last league game against Bournemouth, our last home league game on the weekend of May 20th. The dates and times were yet to be confirmed for those matches. However, there are new details. United's current campaign concludes on Sunday, May 28th, which I've already said. And as always, all 10 matches that are left in the Prem will kick off at the same time. However, normally that's at 4 p.m. But they've been moved back now on the final day to 4:30, which has been confirmed. All the clubs have confirmed that that's what will happen. So 4:30 p.m. kick-off. That's United Fulham on the 28th of May. And as I said, it's half an hour later than was originally expected. So United's 38th game of the top flight season will be against Fulham at Old Trafford. We'll be looking to do a double against them for this season, which would end what I consider to be, I mean, if we've just got the Carabao Cup and we finish 4th, I'd be reasonably happy with that. What do you think? As for the Chelsea game, if that's going to be played on the weekend around the 22nd, it looks like we're going to have a bit of chaos and compaction again at the end of the season, which I suppose in a season that had a World Cup slapped into the middle of it, who am I to complain? You know, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. We just hope that United have secured a top 4's position by the end of May or before the end of May, so that games like Chelsea and Fulham don't really matter towards the end of our season, because ultimately, the bloody World Cup in the middle of the season. I mean, I don't know about you, but ultimately I did get into it. Not as much as I'd hoped. I mean, part way through it, I went and followed United in Cadiz and Sevilla. United lost both games, but it was a little trip in the middle of winter. 20 degrees in Cadiz, sitting at a beach bar. All the Cadizians walking around like with their scarves on and hats on, and there's me thinking, oh, it's 20 degrees. This is lovely. Sipping a cold one. It was crazy. It was really crazy. But yeah, let's hope that those 2 games at the end of the season, because obviously the Chelsea game's been put back, it'll have to be closer to the Fulham game than we'd like. And what with the FA Cup and hopefully getting further in the FA Cup and the Europa League, it'll mean that United have still got a reasonable amount of games to play. And I just hope that Ten Hag can keep everyone fit and we can have a successful season and look forward to the next season. Let's hope that the sale gets done, the Glazers get kicked out. Yeah, the Glazers get kicked out. That's what we all want. And either Sheikh Jassim or or Sir Jim take over the club and start investing in Old Trafford, start investing in the squad, introduce a better transfer policy, probably shake up some internal staff so we can do. We don't have any of these protracted transfer sagas anymore. I mean, that's what I'm worried about actually. This in this pre-season is that the transfer window is going to be open in like say 7 weeks. If the sale of the club doesn't happen, that means Ten Hag won't know how much money he's got to spend, which means he can't plan, which means he can't truly talk to as many players as he wants to. Or maybe he can. Maybe he will talk to multiple players, but ultimately if the Glazers stay, he'll have to say sorry, as I haven't got the funds to go through with what we were talking about. Or I told you I wouldn't have the money. Or whatever, you know. Ultimately, we may see players that we get rumoured with playing for other clubs, which, you know, over the last few years we've grown accustomed to. I mean, obviously, no matter who takes over, we're never going to get every player. But the last thing we want this summer is weeks and weeks of talk about Harry Kane or Osimhen. And they're definitely coming, And United have put all their eggs in one basket for one player. Let's move it a lot quicker. Get players into pre-season. Get them fit. Get them used to their teammates. And start next season winning. You know, we don't want a repeat of what we had this last season, because ultimately that kind of those first 2 games, 8 points. You know, you pop 8 points back on top of what our current points tally, and it firmly places us in third. So small margins in football, small margins, and yeah, nothing's ever going to be perfect, but we want to get better, we want to improve, and we want Ten Hag to do well. Okay, thanks for watching. Please smash a like on the video. If you got anything to say, please let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe, it'll help the channel reach a wider audience. We want to gather up as many United fans and hear their opinions as we can. Thanks for watching.